it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with 8 things I wish I knew before moving to Australia, backpacking Australia. And before I dive into this, make sure you dive into that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I'm human. I talk back. If you got a favorite video suggestion, subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got?
Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video of mine. For everyone who doesn't know me yet, my name is Emily and I've been living in Australia for over 1.5 years now. And I absolutely love it, but there are like a couple things I wish I knew before moving to Australia. So today I'm going to tell you the 8 things I wish I knew before moving to Australia. So let's get right into it. Before we start, I quickly want to say that obviously Australia is such a big country. So I've been to a lot of places, but obviously it always depends where you go, if you're in the outback, in the city. But these are just like 8 overall things I personally wish someone would have told me before I came here. The first thing I wish someone would have told me about is the weather in Australia. So I don't know if it is because I'm from Germany, and in Germany everyone literally says like, yeah, go to Australia, it's sunny there, it's warm there. I don't know if it is because of that, but I literally thought it's just gonna be so hot in Australia, so sunny, so the only thing I brought was like shorts, tops, and just like really like short clothes for like really warm weather. And I literally only had 1 pair of long pants and 1 jacket. So when I arrived in Sydney in October, it was still freezing cold. I arrived at the beginning of October and it was not freezing cold, but it was way too cold to wear just like shorts and tops. So yeah, I literally didn't think Australia would have like seasons, and if someone would have told me that you can do a fucking ski season here in Australia, like what?
Wow.
Like I didn't know that until I was like probably like I heard about it a couple of months ago, and I've been here for over 1.5 years. So yeah, you can do a ski season in Australia. That shows how cold it gets. So I wish someone would have told me pack at least 2 long pants and 4 jumpers. But yeah.
Dang, that is cold to me. Yeah. I didn't know Australia you can have ski season. I would have figured it gets cold. Like I figured most places like get cold at some point. Like I figured most places have seasons. But a ski, y'all can do a little ski. I didn't know Australia got that cold. All right,
long pants and a couple jumpers. But yeah. The second thing is how expensive everything is. So I want to say to you that if you just come to Australia to travel, it is really expensive. If you work here, it's fine because obviously the minimum wage is so high, but it is not cheap, especially when it comes to like healthy foods. So I feel like everything which is like not healthy at all, like you can get a pizza from Domino's for $5, and even if you go into the supermarkets, everything which is literally not healthy is so cheap, like sweets and just everything. And then if you want to buy bananas or just like fruit and vegetables or just like any healthy meal, it's so expensive. Like bananas grow here in Australia, and I literally buy like 5 bananas for like $7 sometimes. Like where does that make sense? I don't get it. They're so much cheaper in Germany, even though they have to like ship them all the way there. So yeah, that doesn't make sense, but I wish someone would have told me, because then I would have brought a bit more money to start with. And yeah, drinks here are really expensive as well. Like alcohol is so expensive here. You can get a bottle of vodka for like €4 in Germany. Here you pay $50 or $60 for a bottle of vodka.
God dang!
I did not know that. The third thing I'm going to talk about is...
Yeah, that is crazy. But like she said, if you live in Australia, it's okay because like the minimum wage is like way higher. Their wages are way higher, so they can afford that cost of living for sure. But if you're traveling, that would be expensive big time.
What? I did not know that. The third thing I'm going to talk about is snakes and spiders, or like in general just wildlife. So I literally thought that you have so many snakes and spiders in Australia and that you have to be super, super careful to not get bitten and die. And I think that is a reason for quite a lot of people that they don't come to Australia. And I must say, obviously, it always depends where you are, but I've done the Northern Territory, West Coast, East Coast, Tasmania, Great Ocean Road, and I worked on over 3 farms, and I didn't see that many snakes and spiders. Like, obviously, when you work on a farm, you see a spider or a snake in there, or if you're doing a road trip, but it's not like every day you see like the biggest spider ever, especially if you're living in big cities. So yeah, I wish someone would have told me that, because I would have been like way more chill. But it's not a big deal, and you get used to it, and it's not like they want to bite you. Like, they're so scared of you, they're just like, especially snakes, they're just off when they see you. Of course you have to be careful if you work on a banana farm, for example, but it's not like they're everywhere. Number 4 is
yeah, I think a lot of, like she said, a lot of people have that fear, and so I feel like they don't go. But yeah, if you just watch videos of people talking about Australia, I feel like if you do your research on your own, then you'll see that I mean, the animals really don't bother you if you don't bother them. And like, they're a thing. They have some crazy wildlife out there. Don't get me wrong, but they don't really bother humans much. If you just have to stay like observant of your surroundings, basically, and you won't really run into as much as it's stereotyped to be,
for example. But it's not like they're everywhere. Number 4 is flies. Yeah, I never even thought flies could be an issue, but I can tell you now, after traveling the West Coast, or just in general after being a bit further out, flies are everywhere.
Because of their so many flies.
They're literally everywhere. They're so annoying. I can insert some photos here from the West Coast. But we literally had to wear fly nets all the time, and they're so annoying. Like, the West Coast is so beautiful, and the flies just like destroy it a bit. So flies is a really big issue in Australia.
I see.
Number 5 is how high wages are. I didn't think Australians would get that much money, especially like if you're a backpacker and you basically don't have any education. Like, obviously you've been to school, but you don't have like a certification in a specific field. So I didn't know how much money you could actually get. I know they get more, but I worked on a farm, on a banana farm, or just whatever farm, pumpkin farm, and I got $24 an hour, which is just for picking pumpkins, basically. Which is so high if you think about it, especially if you have like a qualification. You can get a lot of money here. So I wish I would have known that, just because I was stressing out loads before I came here. Like, how am I going to find a job? And this is going to be so hard. So I was stressing out a lot. But yeah, I find it fairly easy to find a job here. If you want my tips how to find a job, I can link a blog post in the description below, where I have like my top tips on how to find a job. But yeah, I think finding a job in Australia is fairly easy, and you get a lot of money, so win-win.
Oh, everything. That's $24 an hour to pick some pumpkins. Show me that's crazy. Australia be doing it right when it comes to paying people. They be doing it right. I'll definitely say
in Australia, it's fairly easy, and you get a lot of money, so win-win. Number 6 is how big Australia is. Like, obviously, you know Australia is big, but it is so big.
So big!
It's so funny. Like, people keep messaging me, or like friends of mine are like, yeah, I'm coming over to Australia. Like, let's meet up. And you're like, well, if I'm in Broome and you're in Melbourne, it could be like a 6.5 hour flight. That's like flying from Germany to Dubai, which is not really close at all. So yeah, Australia is huge. Crazy. And when Australians say like, yeah, it's the next supermarket is just across the corner, it's not like, you have to drive like half an hour when they say that. So it is huge. Like, you don't really realize until you like come here and like plan a road trip, and then you actually like look at like how long it takes to get from one city to the other, and you're like, Australia is fucking huge. And I wish someone would have told me, because I literally done road trips, or like I planned like a couple of weeks for like a road trip, like West Coast, and we ended up doing it in 7 weeks or 8 weeks, and I thought it would take like 2. So yeah. Number 7 is how much Australians drink. Australians drink a lot. And I
Really?
don't know why, like, don't ask me why, but before I came here, I thought like, oh yeah, Australia, lovely nature, I'm probably not gonna drink a lot, it's just gonna be like beach action and just like going hiking and camping, but no, Australians drink a lot. They love their drinking, and alcohol is so expensive. If you go out into a pub, you pay usually around like $10 for a pint. And yeah, they're also really strict on all their rules. So if you go into a bottle shop, for example, you don't even want to buy something, but you're with a friend, like he buys something, you don't have your ID on you, like none of you get served. Or if you like want to go into a pub or like a club, and you're like not even drunk, you're literally just like, you're like sometimes like fully sober, and you just like stand like this or like this. Sometimes they say like, yeah, nah, you're too drunk, you can't enter.
Dang.
And you're like, well, I'm literally sober, but they don't care. They kick you out. So Australians love their drinking, but they're also fairly strict when it comes to like all the rules.
I like the better to be safe than sorry, man. Sometimes you might get it wrong, somebody might be sober, but better to be safe than sorry for sure. Okay, Australians, so y'all like to party. Y'all just like to have a good time, huh? I just like having a good time, and I like that.
Drinking, but they're also fairly strict when it comes to like all the rules. And last but not least, the language. So my English was quite good before I came here, so I thought like I'm not gonna have any problems. But Australians speak, first of all, they speak so fast, and then they literally shorten everything. Like arvo's afternoon, and sometimes they say things or like jokes, and you're literally saying they're like, I have no idea what you just said. So yeah, the language is really hard to understand, especially if you're like talking to like people that come from the outback or just like a bit more from the countryside. It's quite a big problem, especially for me, because English is not my first language. So they speak really fast and they shorten everything. I can put you like a couple more examples here of what they like say, but yeah, I didn't think they would have such a big accent. I thought they would have like a normal English, but no, they don't. So these were the 8 things I wish someone would have told me before coming to Australia, but yeah, oh well, I know it now, so I hope I could help you a bit more. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment below, or just tell me like what surprised you about Australia. And yeah, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and see you in the next video. Bye!
That was cool to react to. I definitely enjoyed it. It's cool just watching videos, learning new things. But that's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon are all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, touch me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal, out.